There is no need to leave the house. Stay at your desk and listen. Don't even listen. Wait. Don't even wait. Be still and alone, and the world will open to you. It cannot otherwise. He who has cognized the fullness of life does not know the fear of death. The fear of death is only the result of an unfulfilled life. Nobody can give more than the one who has lost everything. Only people affected by the same element understand each other. Theoretically, there is the fullest possibility of happiness to believe in something indestructible in oneself and not strive for it. The book should be an ice pick for the frozen sea within us. Pay no attention to anyone, to what you think is right. Thoughts that are spoken out loud immediately and finally lose their meaning. It is impossible to make excuses when they do not want to believe you. It is much earlier to appease your neighbor if you know nothing about him. Conscience then does not torment. Women are traps which lies in wait for man everywhere in order to track them down into the finite. Don't waste time looking for obstacles. They may not exist. When a woman shares her problems with you, most likely she does not complain. She trusts you. The older a person gets, the more his horizons expand and life opportunities are getting smaller and smaller. They lie the least when they lie the least, not when they have the least reason to lie. Don't marry the one you love, but marry the one who loves you. One of the most effective temptations of evil is the call to fight. By believing passionality in something that still does not exist, we create it. The non existent is whatever we have not sufficiently desired. The first sign of the beginning of knowledge is the desire to die. Books are a narcotic. It is not difficult to love the ones who leave. I think we ought to read only the kind of books that wound and stab us. Paths are made by walking. Since it couldn't get any worse, it got better. I have the true feeling of myself only when I am unbearably unhappy. Faith is the axe of the guillotine, just as heavy, just as light. With a real enemy, boundless in courage, is instead in you. In man's struggle against the world, bet on the world. Kindness is, in a sense, desolate. A thought expressed aloud, immediately and completely, loses its meaning. Written down, it also always loses it. But sometimes it acquires a new meaning. Only people afflicted with the same desire understand each other. The meaning of life is that it stops. Through the paradise of vice, you reach the hell of words. First impressions are always unreliable. Youth is happy because it has the capacity to see beauty. Anyone who keeps the ability to see beauty never grows old. There are two cardinal sins from which all others spring, impatience, and laziness. Many a book is like a key to unknown chambers within the castle of one's own self. Life all the time distracts our attention, and we do not even have time to notice from what exactly. If it is not possible to converge closer, people disperse further. Man has long refused to participate in the creation of world and responsibility for it. There is often a painful discrepancy between worldview and the reality. Everything, including lies, serves the truth. The path from the head to the pen is much longer and more difficult than the path from the head to the tongue. Just think how many thoughts are blinked smoother while one lies along in bed, and how many unhappy dreams it keeps warm. The true path goes along a rope that is not stretched high, but above the earth itself. It seems to be designed more to be tripped over than to be walked on. What is possible and tolerable for the four of us is impossible and intolerable for this fifth. Besides, there are four of us, and we do not want five of us. From a certain point onward, there is no longer any turning back. That is the point that must be reached. What we call evil is only an inevitability in our endless development. The more you trust a person, the more he is seducing you. Anyone looking for evidence of infidelity hopes not to find. Our language is but a poor translation.